Hello, this is Dr. Tay, and today's video is how to hydrate properly. I made a separate video just for hydration, and here we go. All right. The correct amount of water that a person should be drinking every single day is no longer 4 glasses of water. I think that was propagated a long time ago, and today what we know is that we should be we should be drinking about half of your body weight in terms of ounces. So I usually say this to the ladies who come to my office. I say, if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water. Because you can't say, ladies, if you weigh 200 pounds, right? Even as a question. So I usually tell a lady, if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water. For men, I usually say, if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces of water. So you just divide it by two. There's no conversion. Just add ounces next to it. And I always end by saying there's about 128 ounces in a gallon of water. So that kind of gives you a reference to how much water you should be drinking. And you also have to take into consideration of what is considered hydration and what is considered diuretics. Diuretics, basically, it means that it subtracts water from your body. For example, like coffee, alcohol, soda, especially soda with um, sugar, tends to be a diuretic. It takes the body water to process these things. So a lot of people wake up and the first thing they have is that cup of coffee, and that is like the not the worst thing, but it's not the way to properly start your day. And yes, coffee wakes you up and all of these things, but what you want to do is have a nice tall glass of water. Why? Because you went to sleep going for about 68 hours of sleeping, and you were just taking these giant deep breaths. And if you have sleep apnea and stuff like that, you're snoring, right? And you're breathing a lot of moisture. You're dehydrating. And by the time you wake up, the viscosity, the thickness of your blood increases, meaning it's gotten thicker and thicker and thicker because there's less water in your body. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you have that cup of coffee. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to make you more dehydrated, and your heart has to pump blood that is thicker. So by drinking that tall glass of water to start your day, your heart will love you for it. And hydration also comes from fruits and vegetables as well. And I had a bunch of patients come to me. Well, Tay, I love drinking coffee in the morning because it helps me go to the bathroom to poop. And my answer to that is that they're severely dehydrated. That's why you can't go poop after drinking a cup of coffee, because as the coffee sits in your colon, it pulls water from your other side of the large intestine into the colon, so it helps lubricate the bowels. And the coffee itself is kind of acidic, so it helps like break things up. And if you're one of those people that say, I have to drink coffee to help me go in the morning, and people do this for years thinking that this is a good remedy. If you simply drink water, you'll just have an easier time going to the bathroom. Uh, and I've seen numerous people who followed this advice. They came back to me and said, Tay, you were totally right. Now that I'm drinking plenty of water, I'm pooping so much better. Especially if you are having difficulty because the poop is very dry. That's one indication that you have to start drinking more water. And then people are always ask me, "Hey Tay, I'd love to put lemon into your water." This is not a myth. This is a real thing. And before we used to think that vitamin C is good for your body for the antioxidants. And although lemon on a pH scale is similar to stomach acid, although it's very acidic, as your body absorbs it, it alkalizes your body. So it's a great thing to do in the morning. And recent studies about the microbiome shows that vitamin C or lemon water helps the increase of bifidobacterium, which is the good bacteria that you do want to do that. So for the coffee drinkers, I would recommend, yeah, the first 2 weeks is always going to be difficult because if you wake up and drink coffee, instead just drink water first. And if you are later on feeling like tired, like much later in the afternoon, that's a great way to start drinking some coffee. And people all ask me, what about apple cider vinegar? And I say yes. Get the organic apple cider vinegar. I think there's a company called Briggs or Braggs. I think that's the company that I usually recommend to people. And I tell people to stay away from Heinz, the brand that has the white clear vinegar. That's like chemical vinegar, and you don't want that. The reason being is that apple cider vinegar, there's these cultures that live inside, and as you drink the apple cider vinegar, of course, dilute it in water. Don't drink it straight up. Um, when you do that, as it's going through your digestive system, it has a anti-glycemic effect. It's a fancy way of saying that these culture eats sugar to survive. So it lowers the sugar level in your body. And there's a lot of scientific research coming out that when you drink apple cider vinegar in the morning versus at night, it has a totally similar yet different effects. In other words, in the morning, it will increase your metabolism. At night, there's usually like vitamin B complexes and folates that helps the liver, and as you're sleeping, the liver gets cleaned up, and therefore it lowers a lot of inflammation. So this is good for people who have like bad skin, um, acne, chronic infections, and adding apple cider vinegar into your water, especially at night, helps bring that down tremendously. And people also, I always tell people add salt, but then people were adding Himalayan salt because now it's now everywhere. And the research shows that Himalayan salt, yes, it's got a lot of health properties when you put a candle inside or lights and you're breathing it in. That's all great, but there's been shown to have like lead, uranium, aluminum, and other metals that is not really good for your body. And for those people who are familiar with muscle testing, if you do muscle testing with Himalayan salt, after you ingest it, usually people test lower. And I also recommend that what they should do is put sea salt into your water. And now, this is the thing. I don't know the exact dosaging, but the way I do it is that I add a pinch, and the water that you drink should not taste salty, but different. And that's one way to know that you're writing the right amount. The water should not taste salty at all. And of course, magnesium. Magnesium comes from plants, believe it or not. The human red blood cell is identical to a chlorophyll from chemical structure. Is that the centerpiece for magnesium, centerpiece for chlorophyll, I should say, is magnesium, where blood, the centerpiece is iron. So eating a lot of green vegetables is really good for your cardiovascular system. And think of it this way: when it snows outside, people who live in the Northeast or people who get snow regularly, you add salt or magnesium out in the snow. And what does magnesium and salt do? It helps melt things, right? In our body, magnesium helps things that are hard loosen up. So if you see this little dot, it says muscle recovery for spasms and cramps. That's because it helps relax. And it also improves sleep because it helps the muscles relax. It helps you poop because it helps the large intestine relax. It also helps you with your mood because a lot of your muscles gets relaxed and therefore you're less tense, which elevates mood. And also it for some people it helps with headaches because it makes your muscles relax. It also decreases your high blood pressure because it helps your muscles relax. So just by if you look at where I wrote relax, 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 is because your body relaxes more, it has all of these benefits, and that's what magnesium does. And 90% of Americans are magnesium deficient. That's 9 out of 10 people. So it doesn't hurt to add a little bit of magnesium into your diet. I personally don't like to take magnesium in a pill format. I like to take it in a liquid format, but that's just my personal preference. And also, magnesium is needed to cause a cascade of chemical reactions. And one of them is that you need an abundance of magnesium to create this hormone, or this molecule, I should say, called DHEA, which is the precursor to becoming any type of molecule, any type of hormones in the body. Let's see. And just be aware that uh, magnesium uh, also just helps your body just recover from a lot of muscle cramps, especially for those people who are constantly working out and of this sort. If you're a regular, go to the gym or yoga or constant fitness, it's important to take regular intakes of magnesium into your diet because it helps with muscle recovery. The opposite of magnesium effect on the muscles is usually calcium. Calcium helps your muscles become more toned and have better form, and you need a good balance between those two. So having a good uh, amount of magnesium into your diet really helps the hydration levels. One thing I do want to touch upon, but I'm going to make a separate video on, is the importance of knowing about what they call structured water. Structured water is different from modern water, and modern people, we drink filtered water. So 4, 5, 6, 700 years ago, chances are we had access to like unclean water, and that's why we filter everything so that there is no bacteria or things like that. Um, However, filtered water is gone through plumbing, and the water molecules, they don't get um, properly situated. Is that the word? Or unstructured. And structured pretty means that, when they have a filtering process of a screen where you put dirt and you screen the water. I mean, the dirt, the finer grains of soil will drop to the bottom, and the bigger rocks and pebbles and things like that will remain on top. Well, water molecules work the same way. There's bigger clumps of water molecules, and water that comes from plumbing, they're less structured, meaning they're not finely aggregated, and therefore, if you drink plumbing water, it's hard to feed plants. So for those who are interested, go look up structured water on Google and look at the before and after pictures of plants. So if you feed your plants structured water, they'll grow taller because it's more hydrating to them. Whereas plumbing water, the plants won't really grow tall to their full capacity. So, and it works the same way as for us as well. And drinking the proper amount of water for your body is important for numerous things, because especially when it comes to weight loss, a lot of people come to a weight loss program and they don't drink the proper amount of water. So when they start drinking a lot of water, they start uh, flushing out their body, and it takes them a while for them to increase in water absorption. Okay, I will talk about more topics like this in the future. So hit that like button, subscribe, and please leave a comment and show your support. It gives me a lot of encouragement to continue to do this. So I'll see you next time. Bye.